baby.
Enjoy this great game.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Hum Baby Baseball channel. This is Eric, and today we got to talk a little bit about the Oakland A's and updates on their situation as they are still trying to get a ballpark built in Oakland, but they are simultaneously exploring Las Vegas for a possible move. And as you can see, I got my Vegas gear because I'm actually a fan of the city of Las Vegas and their minor league team, the Las Vegas Aviators. And unfortunately, obviously, if the Oakland A's were to move to Las Vegas, I don't see the AAA team being there at the same time, which is a shame because they just built a new stadium. But there's still time for the A's to get things figured out in Oakland. And at first I thought that was likely, but as more time passes, then they continue to struggle to get a deal done to build a stadium, which would cost about $1 billion. It becomes more and more likely that the team will possibly move to Las Vegas. Now, back in July, there was actually an agreement. The city of Oakland agreed with a term sheet that would approve a stadium to be built, but the problem was the A's didn't agree because they were going to have to, front a bunch of the infrastructure costs, and they were like, no, we're not down for that. So they're still far apart. Basically, the city of Oakland and the team are still, I don't know how far apart, but they are far apart right now. And Major League Baseball is telling the A's, hey, you guys got to bounce. The lease expires in 2024. You need to be out at the latest by then. I mean, let's go. And of course, the A's mentioned, what about just continuing to upgrade the stadium, whatever. No, that's not going to cut it. They need to bounce. They need to be gone. They need a new stadium, or they need to head out to another city, which, looks like the main target is Las Vegas, if that is to happen. Dave Kaval talked to reporters ahead of yesterday's game and said, we are focused on getting the next trip scheduled. We're also obviously focused on continuing the conversations here in Oakland, and that's happening in parallel paths. We remain apart on economic terms. We're still working with the city to see if we can bridge some of those gaps, but that's something that we're going to have to continue to work on in good faith to see if we can find solutions around some of the open items. So we are continuing to do that. The A's have been at the Coliseum since 1968. It's had a lot of problems, some plumbing issues, and it's just, past its time. And it's time for the A's to go ahead and build a new ballpark, and preferably in Oakland. But if that can't get done, and it sounds like they're still far apart, they will move to Las Vegas. And I don't know how that will work, if they'll play in a Las Vegas ballpark to start out while the new park is being built, or if they'll be able to build a new ballpark in the meantime, and we'll see what happens by then. But right now they do have Las Vegas ballpark, which is absolutely beautiful. I've been there. It's a great AAA ballpark. There'll be a review coming up here on the channel soon for that stadium, but it doesn't seem like a stadium that's in a area that could be expanded upon. So I believe they would need to build a fresh new stadium somewhere. So here at Yahoo Sports, A's on parallel paths. The A's are not giving up on Oakland just yet. They're just as focused on moving the club to Las Vegas. I think we've been really clear. I think the league's been really clear that the site does not fit 21st century vision for baseball in North America. You need a downtown urban location to be successful, especially in a two-market team where you have the Giants in a similar stadium on the waterfront, and we're going to do everything we can to have a stadium that can be at the level or eclipse what they have done. You ain't eclipsing us, come on now, at Oracle Park in San Francisco, and we have that vision at Howard Terminal. I'm just kidding, because it actually could be spectacular down at Howard Terminal. So I'm really hoping that it happens. That would be just amazing. I mean, think about that, having another amazing, beautiful ballpark to go visit. I mean, we can go to the Coliseum. The Coliseum's got some nostalgia, but it's just not that great anymore. Rob Manfred has called Las Vegas a viable option and insisted that this play isn't a bluff simply to get local officials in Oakland behind a new stadium. So, we see that a lot. If it's a bluff deal, hey, we're going to move, we're out, and it kind of forces the city to say, okay, here's the money, here's what you need, let's go, let's build the stadium. I don't believe it's a bluff either. I think they will go to Las Vegas if the A's and the city of Oakland don't get it together and figure out a way to get a ballpark built. They will go to Las Vegas. Las Vegas is growing. Las Vegas is big now. They're getting major sports teams there with the NHL, with the NFL. There's no reason that they can't handle a Major League Baseball team. I don't really want it to happen as much as I love Las Vegas. I really, like I said, I love the Aviators. I love the AAA park they just built. But at the same time, that would be pretty cool to have a big league team there. I just don't want to lose, the local Oakland A's. So right now it's just a waiting game to see if the A's and the city of Oakland come up with an agreement, and they need to come up with it quick. I believe they ultimately will. I believe that site at Howard Terminal, I think it will become a reality. They will get a ballpark built. The A's are going to stay in Oakland. But then again, on the other side of the coin, I've said that before about other teams in Oakland, like the Raiders, gone to Vegas, like the Warriors, they bounced. So history tells us that teams will bounce out of Oakland, and Oakland is not going to do what's necessary to keep them there. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Obviously, the Warriors are still in the Bay Area, but not in Oakland anymore. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see on this one. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, I would prefer, I would assume Las Vegas, people who actually live in Las Vegas are wanting the Major League Baseball team, and I can understand that. But just as a visitor, I just kind of prefer the AAA team. I just enjoy that. It's obviously cheaper and more convenient, but at the same time, Major League Baseball is Major League Baseball, and that's freaking exciting. So we'll have to wait and see. And of course, because I live, closer to Oakland, I would much prefer they stay there and have a second gorgeous, beautiful ballpark to visit in addition to Oracle Park right there in the Bay Area. How sick would that be? We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you want the A's to stay put, build a new beautiful ballpark there in Oakland, or do you want them to go ahead and bounce out to Las Vegas and build a new park there? What do you think will happen? What do you hope will happen? I don't know what's going to happen right now. It's close to 50-50. I'm going to say still I slightly lean towards the A's staying in Oakland. I believe that's what's going to happen, but it's not like I'm super confident about to throw some money on that. I really don't know. They could end up going to Las Vegas, so we'll wait and see. So you guys have a fantastic day. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit that subscribe button. Continue to follow the channel for more baseball news, stadium reviews, and everything else right here, post games. And I can't wait. So let's go. We'll be in Oakland tonight to take on the Giants, to take on the A's, Giants versus A's. So don't miss the post game. We'll talk to you then. See ya. When the Giants come to town.